The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
I want to share with you a story that I heard today from a friend of mine, Rabbi Fischel Schachter. He said that he went once to a wedding. He's Klosenberger Chassid, and he went to a wedding, and it was a Klosenberger wedding, and he has a shtukl mishpacha, so he was sitting over on. So like he explained it to me, one person got Siddur Kiddushin, another person got Bracha Achrita, another person got Eidei Kiddushin, and he got a kidney stone attack. And he gets different things. You know? So they took him to the hospital, and they told him, okay, whatever, he has to spend the night there. In the hospital in Netanya, the Leonardo Hospital. And he said a nurse came in, and she was dressed, he didn't know she's Arab, or there are some of the Yemenites still from that cheder still dressed that way. So she wasn't going to ask her, are you Jewish or not, whatever. He assumed that she's Arab. And Lamamis, he said that she took care of him like you can't imagine. She like Mamish, like as if she was all Yoinav. She was up the entire, she was like, and in the morning she came into his room and said, listen, there was an accident now, they just brought somebody in. And he's saying he doesn't have tefillin, he wants to daven. Would you mind if I bring him your tefillin? He's like, okay. And it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. He knows her shift is over at 9. And comes 6, 7, 8, 9. She doesn't come back, and the tefillin doesn't come back. He says, what am I supposed to do over here? Like, hello, this Arab nurse took my tefillin to someone. What are you talking about? You know? At 11 o'clock, she walks in with the tefillin. And she says, my shift was over at 9. I punched out, but I saw that he didn't return the tefillin yet. I said, why did you ask it back from him? So I saw the way this man was praying. I had no way I was going to disturb him. So she spent another 2 hours after her shift waiting for him to finish with his tefillin so he can take his tefillin back up to her. And then he started asking her, she started asking him about what the chak is inside his talis. And I said, you're not Arab. Who are you? And she looks at him and says, you don't know who I am? I said, well I can't really see. You know? But she says, I'm Mamish, your sister. You what? So it turns out like this, that his father, Yid by the name of Salish, they called him Salish, the name of English was Nehemiah Tzvi was his name, I think. He was a Klosenberger Chassid, and he moved to Netanya, and he was there the first Friday night, and the Klosenberger Rav, amongst the many moises that he had, was a big Beis Yisayim, orphan house. And he came into the orphan, and he disappeared by the Seder. He walked out by the Seder, disappeared. Nobody saw where he was afterwards. They got scared. There's an Arab village nearby, and he shows up almost in the morning. He's wearing a Magen David Adom white jacket. He says he went into the Kinderheim, he went into the school, and one by one they were all lining up and coming over to him. And he said, they have food. In those days there wasn't too much food, but whatever they had shelter, but they don't have someone to say Manishtana to. So one of the people that was there said, okay, they'll all say Manishtana together. He said, no, one by one. Each one came by and said Manishtana to him. And when the Klosenberger Rav heard the story, he said, this is your job. You're like the camp mother, camp father, whatever the case may be. So this woman this nurse said that I was a Yisaima, no father, no mother, or whatever went on with the Yemenites. They took children away. She didn't know who her father and mother was. And she said that your father, whatever it was, the situation was, without getting into she never had to go to the army, but he followed me through in the army to make sure that everything was as best as possible. Got me into combat unit, into nursing school. And not only that, I had the nursing school for free. If not, I would have never been able to afford it. And she reminded him that she would come home, as soon as he left to yeshiva, he would bring home every night girls to his house to sleep there. They should feel what it means to sleep with a father and a mother at home and see a Shabbos table. And that I mamish grew up in your house. And I saw you now. And how could I not do whatever I can for you? And it turned out she's an amazingly committed nurse. It's such a confusing world. Do we know where we are, who we are?
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org